me first? Great, lovely. So I'm going to share, also I'm going to share my screen and see how it works. Can you see that?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Cool. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Sorry, this is my first time to use Zoom, and you probably already noticed that I have my daughter's name underneath. Cindy is my daughter's name. I use her account to have this meeting. And let me see, where is the sorry, the starting. Okay, cool, great. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Forrina, and thank you, ITAC, for inviting me to share some of our practice during the quarantine and isolation period. In China, unlike other countries, we are the first country who is hugely affected by this coronavirus disease and have started the lockdown of the city since the end of January. And our government is very quick in responding to the virus spread, and extreme steps have been taken to make sure everyone stay home for almost 50 days. So in March, everything is gradually under control. People started to go outside and go back to work. The museum, the parks, the galleries start to open in April. Now cinemas and theaters are expected to open in May or in early June. Our schools are still closed and the kids are learning online, but we all know it will be open very soon in May. So that's just the current situation in my country. But in order to stay connected with kids and families through arts and creativity, even our theaters are closed and we're stuck at home. From February to April, we continuously produce online resources, including videos and live broadcasting and national campaigns. So I'm going to share with you some of the things we've been doing in the past few months. Before I started to introduce our online videos and campaigns, first of all, I would love to share with you some background information of China in terms of culture and education context. I'm sure to you, China is one of the most mysterious countries in the world. And I'm afraid to say the stories or reports of China you normally get from the media are not entirely true. I will not be able to give you the answer of what China is really like either, because it's huge. However, I can share with you my understanding of my country through my eye, and I hope it will give you a little bit personal point of view and perspective as a native. I was born and raised in Shanghai, the biggest city in China, and it is also a financial center of China. In my city, we have 24 million people live here, and this number had been increasing every single year. And I study in Shanghai and work in Shanghai. I also travel a lot, never really leave the city. I have a daughter who just celebrated her 9 years birthday this month. After I traveled to so many countries and in the past decades, and I realized that China is very different from other countries. And I would love to share with you my observation. And let me start with a general picture of education in China. In the major cities in China, it is very common for both parents to be well educated and in full-time employment. It is also common for them to have one child. A second child in the family is increasing since the one-child policy has been changed in 2016. These middle and upper class families travel abroad often, have their children education and care at center of their choices, and they're very clear about wanting the best international care and educational resource for their kids. So for the children in China younger than 2, there is a little daycare available from organization. Most of the babies are cared followed by their mother, grandparents, and nanny. It is widely expected that mothers will stay home with their baby until they're around 3 years old, with help from the parents and parents-in-law. Later on, our kids will be sent to kindergarten after 3, go to elementary school around 6 years old. Schools in China have 3 types: state-owned, private-owned, and purely international schools. Chinese nationals must follow Chinese national curriculum. Others are very flexible. So when kids are in the grade 6, they will move to middle school. Both elementary school and middle school's attendance is mandatory, but high school is optional. You can have all these age details in that form in my PowerPoint. And most schools in China are built on small plots of land. The majority of spaces are indoors, within high-rise buildings. Due to the severity of the 4 seasons and the cost to maintain natural grass and greenery, most schools do not have green outdoor spaces for children to play. Outdoor areas are often astroturf or concrete. The sports activity is often completed indoors in the sports hall due to the size of the restricts. Outdoor playtime is carefully scheduled with single-year grades allowed to play at scheduled time that differ to other year levels. In China, getting into a good primary kindergarten and schools used to be very, very competitive, requiring children to have a test, to pass an interview, to be accepted into those private schools. Private middle and high schools require an application for acceptance, but the policy has been changed since this year. Now, the private schools adopt a lottery system for student admission. That means no interviews, no tests. It's a very new education reform, whether you will get into a good school or not based on your luck. So the new reform does raise the concern of Chinese parents, but I think it's an ongoing discussion. So this is education in general in China. What about our arts learning and teaching situation in China? Well, the training available for teachers, both in early years and elementary school, excuse me, does not include arts training. So generally, the curriculum in kindergartens and schools includes some basic visual arts and may include music if the school has specialist teacher. Private kindergarten, while programming visual arts lessons, sometimes with a special teacher or artist, and are more open to inviting in specialists to run programs with children as they have more budget. Many children participate in dance lessons, for example, the ballet or traditional Chinese dance, and learn an instrument as extracurricular activities. The school's kindergarten curriculum has limited arts participation and keep arts very separate to other lessons. It is not integrated. Traditionally, arts lessons focus on techniques and skill development, and often do not incorporate free expression or encourage individual creativity. So many children are spending more time in classes outside of school care and the classes that focus on technique in the process to generate a polished product. With most families having 2 parents working full-time and less able to spend time with their children, these products are generated to satisfy parents and carers, along with regular reports and photographs sent via WeChat, which is very similar to WhatsApp, and teacher greeting parents after classes and to provide a verbal report on children engagement. This process is seeing the parents less engaged with their children, losing deep connections and not knowing how to play with their children. Similarly, China is inundated with performance for children that are grandiose and spectacle, but often are produced to accommodate a high turnover of patrons and commercial viability, meaning that intimate and sophisticated works for children are harder to access in my country. So that's the reason why I founded the ASK Art Space for Kids. In the first place, I used to work in China Shanghai International Arts Festival and search for good works for adults. In my mind, it is also very important to have children immersed in high quality arts from very little, even the day they were born, to trigger their imagination and nourish their creativity. We have identified there's a shortage in both artists and educators within the necessary skills to deliver high quality arts programs and performances in Shanghai for kids, and indeed across China. So we are looking for small scale, intimate, and sophisticated high quality performance works and artistic facilitators who are passionate about engaging young people with theater, who are humble, genuine, and have experience with children and family. So, wait a second. My PowerPoint stopped. Wait a second. Let me start. Okay. So how we are different. We are very dedicated to bring the highest quality arts and engagement program to children and family across China through our theater programming, workshop series, camps and trips abroad, online resources, and other events and activities. We have a team of highly skilled professionals committed to delivering our ambitious and innovative projects. We're also very interested in developing a unique offering to kindergartens and schools, as well as extracurricular activities for families in vacation time, and parent and educator professional development workshop in order to reverse some of the noticed culture trend. We believe through the use of arts, we create environments, both real and imaginary, for kids and adults to develop their own creative practices and use life skills such as communication, teamwork, collaboration, empathy, creative problem solving, and resilience. We're very young. We were born in 2015 in Shanghai. Our main job is to present, produce, and create, working with most talented artists and educators in China and abroad. We have a mission to promote and present world-class theater from small-scale size to large-scale productions and outreach experience for children aged from 0 to 12 years old and their families in school all over China. We are in constant network with artists and companies across the world and selectively curates a provoking and captivating season of the finest work for children being produced globally, as well as commissioning award-winning artists to collaborate on new works for the theater. Our flagship space opened in 2015, which is a very small theater, only have 180 seats, in a department store in Shanghai, which is the first small-scale theater ever built in China. And now I'm in this empty space at the moment. In 2017, we expanded to have small-size theater out of Shanghai. We go to Beijing and we build a second small theater in the Tianqiao Art Center, and also in Hangzhou and in Kunshan, in Nanjing and other cities. And in 2019, we underwent a rapid expansion and has a collection of small theaters in China, cooperating with grand theaters, and also program children's work for other art centers across the country. After 5 years building up, since we were born, we're now leading the theater for young audience sector in multiple tier cities across mainland China. In 2019, We presented 62 productions from 18 countries in our 13 ASK theaters, 30 national cooperative theaters in 26 cities. And altogether, we have presented 1,650 performances altogether. Our primary markets are children aged from 2 to 6, and our second market are children aged from 7 to 12 years old. We have reached out 400,000 audiences every year, and now we have 20,000 members who regularly come to our theaters every month. In 2018, we opened our education department, referred to as the ASK Creation Academy. This team creates and delivers methods and models on how to engage children, mostly in their early years, from 4 to 7, in high-quality theatrical and multi-arts experience featuring Chinese artists and international artists. So I mentioned before the arts education, the arts learning situation in China is very much skill-based learning. So in schools and many extracurricular activities, the teachers are the directors who dictate the plan to the children. Although they might be warm and great teachers, but the format is that the teacher has knowledge and they must deliver it to the student. The concept of child as equal, child as expert, and child as collaborator is quite new and unusual in China. So classes are also usually skill-based, where a teacher is imparting the knowledge to pupils to learn the skills. And recreation and copying perfectly is the best way to do that. The use of concept exploration, play-based learning, child-led learning are used in some kindergarten, but not widely. Inviting the children to collaborate with you and offering for them to lead will be invigorating. For some, it might be too much freedom and excitement initially, so it is important to set ground rules to provide structure when asking very young children to attend. So our education team is an integrated team of international artists, facilitators, and Chinese local facilitators who are incredibly passionate about doing something new. We are also committed to providing engaging and immersive learning environment that allow children to experiment in a theatrical form in which they're learning with the focus on these experiences rather than a polished product. Simply say, we are not a company concerning with the outcome of our education department being a staged work of traditional theater involving children, and does not play a focus on refining skill required for this kind of performance. Instead, the motivator of the education department is to allow children a voice, to provide children with a unique engagement with elements of theater and creation, and focus on life and social skills of listening, teamwork and collaboration, imagination, respect, empathy, and problem solving. So the process-driven approach may culminate in a sharing, and when it does, it ensures that every child has an opportunity to creatively contribute to this performance in a way other than simply being on stage. To do this, we adopt an approach of teaching through process drama. It's a very unique learning tour, education toolkit that puts participants as the center of the story, and experts then to use the above-mentioned skill to resolve problems within the story. So in the Creation Academy, we deliver projects in kindergartens with their school residency program. We deliver workshops in conjunction with our touring shows. We take in children abroad to participate in world-renowned arts festivals. We also pioneered first of their kind projects in China in collaboration with international companies like Punchdown. We also provided professional development workshops to leaders and educators in the sector. Well, the Creation Lab, it's a series of workshops which allow children to work with artists and facilitators with view to create their own performances through process drama. And it is the Creation Academy flagship program, and it's currently available in Beijing and Shanghai. This is designed as a 4-year tier program covering 8 key elements of theatrical learning suitable for children aged between 4 to 9 years old. So the 8 key elements are storytelling theater, music theater, installation theater, movement theater, shadow theater, object theater, mass theater, and verbatim theater. Those are the theatrical elements that the children will learn. Also, we have camps. We offer a seasoning range of camps and extended curriculum activities, including summer and winter holiday camps. Those camps, we will take children to go abroad or go to a resort. And during what we call 2 weeks time, they could work with artists and share some of the research results with the public in the end. And also we have KOL workshop. KOL workshop means key opinion leaders workshop. So key opinion leaders may be educators, theater professions, parents, community members, or officials. Some may have a deep understanding of the ASK and what we do. Some may have a background in theater, and some may be completely new to us or our art form. The workshop basically is designed for everyone. And this workshop follow a specific workshop plan, and are at present now is a one-off delivery of a 2-hour workshop. This workshop is designed to introduce our methodology and approach to drama in education through process drama. And this workshops has been delivered in different cities all across China. Well, we always often asked that what kind of teaching artists we're searching for and which skill we require to deliver those workshops and camps we mentioned. Well, the teaching artist is a key point in the delivery of the ASK mission, to be part of frontline delivery of high quality programs in the Creation Academy curriculum. The person required to deliver these should be skilled in area of artistic facilitation with children, though not necessarily be artists themselves. While this facilitator may choose to supplement games or facilitate in their own ways, the core of the plans and structure should remain the same. Facilitators should be skilled in both areas of workshop facilitation, process drama, and in devising theater making. We are also looking for people who are dynamic and engaging with positive attitude and have a very creative artistic approach, which may or may not include proficiency in a specific art form such as dance, puppetry, music, and etc. And also, we expect them are passionate about theater and arts, are adaptable and flexible to working in a changing environment, and have a very clear and open communication style. And most importantly, we expect our TA teaching artists deeply connect and engage with the ASK little artists and the student we will teach, and allow them to explore, imagine, creatively contribute, build their confidence, and make the theater the best place to grow up. So everything we do in the past is pretty much rely on being in the physical room and interact with each other. But during the difficult time, what should we do to maintain our relationship with our audience and keep them busy with creating? And And in the beginning of the virus, around February, one of our international teaching artists, Vince, who was isolated in Shanghai as a residency artist, started to work online with Chinese teaching artists, create a campaign to cheer up for Wuhan. They used body to write "Keep It Up Wuhan" in Chinese character and create a dance piece. Firstly, we start to share this in our WeChat account social network platform. And then later, we share that in our membership group. We receive lots of video back from our audience. And then our audience start to spread out. And we receive more from other strangers like the chef, the Korean, the fitness coaches, yes, the drivers, and it also drew attention from media. Several influential and mainstream media contacted us and wrote a report, an article about this campaign, including Xinhua News and China Daily. At the end of this campaign, the video has been viewed by 1 million, I think over 1 million people. It was a very successful campaign. And I would love to share that video with you. I'll see if I can do that. Can you hear? Yeah. Can you hear me now? Yes, yes. So you can see there's so many people who joined this campaign with us, and we are very much touched by this these videos. So since then, we start to film series of online videos. For us, it is not like we change our territory from offline into online. We still believe that life experience is critical. It cannot be replaced by any kind of online format. For us, online content is more like a marketing approach to connect people, to make storytelling or to make telling story, practicing creativity still part of audience life, even we cannot come to the theater, even more theater are still closed. So later on, we produced movement classes because we found that everyone was stuck at home, not having enough exercises. So our teaching artists tried to encourage audience to do exercises at home. So our dancer started to teach audience how to move body like a dancer? How do you stretch your body in the living room? Use sofa as your tool. And when you clean up the room and whipping the floor, how you stretch your legs and arms like a dancer. So it's a very useful video to most of our audience, and also we receive a very good review from our audience. At the same time, we also think it is very important for Chinese kids to learn our own culture. We have introduced Chen Yu, which is 4-character idioms to kids. In Chinese culture, Chen Yu contains lots of ancient stories and history and told by our ancestors. So it looks like this. Can you hear? So this 4-character Chen Yu idioms. So Chen Yu has been passed from generation to generation. It is a very important part of our culture and history. It has been still widely used in the modern society nowadays. Sometimes the 4 characters are not just simple 4 characters or 4 words, also that reflect the moral behind the story. In schools, kids are asked to memorize these Chen Yu, but they do not know the story behind those words. So we make a video and tell those stories and make it more accessible to the kids. So the video I'm going to show you is to introduce Chen Yu like this. 塞翁失马. It's about a story. It's a story about an old man living at the frontier lost his horse. He was really sad and heartbroken because that is his best friend and his favorite horse. However, after several months, the horse came back from other land, accompanied by another fine horse. So he is very thrilled and everyone is happy for him. So this story tells us that sometimes a loss may turn out to be a gain. So this is also a very popular video. Parents really like.
小不点大世界，在家也有戏。小故事大人量，睡前轻松学国学。
小朋友们早上好，今天给你们讲的故事啊，叫做《塞翁失马》。它讲的是一个住在边塞的老人家丢失了一匹马的故事。那这个故事告诉我们，好事有时候会变坏事，坏事会变好事，祸和福之间是相辅相生的。那这个老人啊，他在丢失了那匹马以后，他一点也不担心。果不其然，过了1个月以后，那匹马飞到回来了，还带回来了一匹马。那别人就很羡慕他。又没过多久，这个老人的儿子啊，因为贪玩骑马出去摔断了腿，众人又为这个老头的这个遭遇啊感到非常的惋惜。这个老人说，好事坏事还说不定呢。战争的消息很快传来，村子里边啊，所有的年轻人都被拉壮丁去打仗了，只有这个老人的孩子因为残疾而不能去上战场，于是他逃过了一劫。那当我们考试考到了第1名的时候，我们也要明白塞翁失马的道理。那这一件好事，它未必就真的是一件好事，它说不定让我们的思想放松懈了。那反过来说，我们考试有时候也会有不如意的时候，那没关系，说明这次考试正好暴露了我们的缺点，我们下一次努力就能抓上了。
Yeah. So this is the tryout. We want to make our history more accessible to our kids, and we make a connection and with daily life. And then we as we all know, coin opera is one of the oldest forms of Chinese opera. It evolved from the Kunshan melody and dominated Chinese theater from the 16th to the 18th century. It has been listed as one of the masterpieces of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity by UNESCO since 2001. So how we're going to introduce this old art form and super slow melody, ancient poem to our kids. So one of our teaching artists, who is also award-winning opera performer, is very keen to interpret Korean opera in the form of interesting storytelling style, which immediately arise children interest and even adults. I'm going to show you how it look like, because in the story you will find different characters has his own dress style and also his own saying style. It's quite interesting to see this teaching artist in the video and how he changed his
说说演演讲故事，看看听听来猜谜。大家好，我是无双。射虎记今天正式开始。话说，宋代大词读诗书的龙如梦令这样的千古名篇。她的丈夫赵明诚那也是一位饱读诗书的大文人。话说在他俩新婚之夜，李清照给赵明诚就出了一个谜题。官人生日太凶，自是宝玉怀之，皎皎君言。奴有一题，愿当面请教。呀！夫人是哪里话来？若论学生之才吗？是不及夫人之万一题哟。官人休要太谦，请听听夫人。三面围墙一面空，妙龄群钗住其中。有心与他说句话，可恼墙外有人听。
Yes. So this is how we introduce.
说说演演讲
How we introduce the oldest art
故事
form and the oldest Chinese opera to kids. And because normally kids found it's very hard to understand, and by producing this kind of video, I think the story the way he tells is quite interesting and attractive. So kids start to get interested in our Korean opera.
说说演
We
演讲
also, apart from connecting our kids with our Chinese traditions and Chinese culture and Chinese history, we also invite international artists to join us to produce online content, which Chinese parents really, really need. In China, we have like 30 million piano learners, but most of them suffered to pass the exam like ABRSM. Teachers, piano teachers in China are busy with correcting the kids and telling them wrong and ask them practice repeatedly and very much skill-based learning. As a result, the parents lose the patience and lots of kids lost interest in the process. Therefore, we invited Will Pigmans, who is a British pianist, to record a piano lesson video, which is not a normal piano lesson. Instead of teaching pieces and reading notes, he wants to guide children to listen to the music and play with music. So for example, he has two favorite composers and pianists. One is Beethoven and the other is Fats Waller, is a jazz musician. He will demonstrate in the video how to turn classical music into jazz style and turn Beethoven's classical piece into a Fats Waller jazz music. He also showcased how to use the music to play different characters and tell stories by changing rhythms and tunes and volumes. It's a very, very popular video. Kids and parents really enjoy it. They realize, most importantly, I think they realize that learning music is not about passing exam and working on techniques. It's more important to feel music from our eyes, ears, and hearts. I would love to share one of my favorite videos to demonstrate how we guide kids to play music differently.
小不点大世界，在家也有戏。爱丁堡直通车 ，Will 老师的快闪钢琴课。
This could only happen right now, with the sun right there, this piano right here.
It's one of the most popular videos and viewed by 3,000 audiences in our group. And kids really love to play music like that. Because we're running theaters as well, so we have introduced 60 world-renowned children's works to China. We will also use theater resources. Most of our audience still remember some of our shows. So our teaching artists get lots of inspiration from these works. So one of the ASK TV series is to show how to create at home like an artist and guide children to build props and sets from daily used items like tube cleaners, boxes, plastic bags, and things you can find at home. We want to show audience, no matter how big you get, there's always time to play, and there's always the inspiration you can get from our theaters. It is also a very popular video among all.
小不点大世界。
I'm Joe.
And I'm Action. This is another show at home.
This is where we are inspired by an ASK show to make a mini performance in our house.
This time it's a white.
Roll clip!
This is one of the very popular children's work in our theatre. It's a Scottish children's work, beautiful, peaceful, for children from 2 to 4 years old. It's about the world of light. So one day.
Wow, those guys really love white.
And I wonder what happened to that red egg.
Well, before we find out, you can watch our mini show, The
Excellent
Excellent Brothers.
Brothers.
3, 2, 1, action! In a special house, there once lived 3 excellent brothers. I'm Stripey. I'm the oldest. I only like stripes. My room is the best, and you can't come in. I'm Spotty. I'm the second oldest. I only like spots. My room is the best, and you can't come in.
I'm Starry, and I'm the youngest. I only like stars. My room is the best, and you can't come in.
Time for work, Spotty. Time for work, Starry.
Time for work. Oh.
Yes. And then they will introduce our kids how to make these blocks and
Welcome to
sets.
ASK TV. I'm Aisha.
And I'm Joe, and this is Craft at Home. And today we're going to show you how to make your own special hat for an egg.
This is inspired by the ASK show White.
Let's get making!
To make hair like this, all you need is a pair of scissors, 剪刀 paper roll you can find at home， 你在家可以找到的纸筒 yarn 毛线 stuffings 切小棉花 or 也可以用 T 恤或者用纸巾代替也可以哦。
So what is so magic about this video is we found children generate more ideas when they see this video, and they're very, very keen to share with us their ideas. So we received a bunch of children's creation from their mothers, and I also would love to share with you.
So you can
some of
also
the
use some
videos
paint,
we
draw something on it. 还可以用笔画一些东西，变成想个图案都可以。
This one, yeah. So actually, so this is the video we received from one of our audience kids, and he was inspired by the video we produced, and he started to create his own stop motion movie at home based on one of his favorite show called Grug. So Grug is from Australia and one of the beloved children's work we ever presented in our theater. Apart from all these videos we produce, we also doing online broadcasting. We want to introduce festivals all over the world because lots of our audience always ask us, where do you find all these beautiful shows and how do you choose those shows to China? So we're broadcasting what we know about all these festivals. And also we invite coin opera performer to share with us some of the songs and teach them how to sing at home. We also visit artists' home and show our audience what kind of life artists have at home during the virus period. Those broadcasting series are very well received by our audience, and they can ask questions and receive immediate response from our guests, from our artists. After all these months, we are convinced that during the quarantine time, people have stronger desire to be connected. Art is what we connect with people, and we will continue to that until the day the theater is open. I don't know if I need to take some questions, but I know it's a very difficult time for all of us. And from our side, no matter how hard it is, we still want to send out our messages, our positive messages, that we will fight very hard and we will do our best. And we still keep doing what we believed in until the last minute. And those online resources is what we have been doing, and we will continue to do more to keep connect with our audience and make them feel like art still is part of their life. So that's my sharing. And thank you so much for your time. And yeah, I'm sitting in an empty theater now. I feel very strange. But we're waiting for the day the theater will open and our audience will gradually come back to the space and spend quality time with us. That's it. And also we just did those backgrounds. This background is kind of a set for the press conference which took place last week. So we did an online press conference. We want to announce very important events to our public. We will organize a festival in October this year. Even it is really hard, but we think it's very necessary to have a celebration together with artists, with audience, with kids, with parents, all together. And also we announced some of the programs we will do in 2021. And because our international artists are still in a quarantine time, we don't know when they will come back to China and perform for us. We will start to commission works with our Chinese artists and see if we can present some Chinese works for our audience. Yes.
Thank you. I think the chat is now becoming quite full. So I wonder if we've only got about 15 minutes left, but if people want to unmute themselves and ask questions about how some of this was created or some of the circumstances, please feel free. And you can also feel free to type into the chat box if you'd rather not, but just remember and unmute yourself before talking.
Hi, I'm Hisuk. I'm from Helsinki, Finland. Thank you for the presentation. I have two questions. ASK is NGO, or how do you all this money? Who pay and how do you also all distribute money when you earn? This is my first question. Second, China is very, very big. You are from Shanghai. This is very westernized. But whole China, internet doesn't work, all these things. So how is have you tried any response from the other part of China? This is my second question. The last is, you mentioned about coon opera. this UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage. I'm the president of Scientific Committee of Intangible Cultural Heritage and e-commerce. So maybe in the future, maybe my organization and your organization can work together. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your question. I love that. So your first question, I always been asked by international friends. They're very curious about how we run our organization. We're not a non-profit organization, we're a private-owned organization. And when I first founded this organization, my idea is very simple because I want to share in my city, in my country, I want to share the best children's work from all over the world. And I think it's very important for children to see the high quality artwork from little. And majority of our income actually are from the box office. To be honest, 99% of our income from the box office, purely from the box office. And we don't have any government funding at the moment. We have lots of supporters to give us a very low price of the renting. So when we go to Beijing or other cities and working with grand theaters, they don't charge us the rent. We don't need to pay the rental fee of the venue. We have a certain collaboration with them. We share the box office together. We sell the tickets together. So that's a model we work with the Grand Theatre. Although we work like that, it's very fragile for us to keep living, make a living, because it's always rely on the sales of the tickets. But we want to try our best to keep connect with our audience, and audience are the biggest supporter of the whole organization, and that's why we survived, and that's why we exist. And I think that the biggest support is from mothers like me, because I'm a mother and I have a motivation. Running or funding this organization is for our kids, for our next generation. So most of our audience are mothers too. They share a very similar thoughts, want the best for their children. So yeah. And the second question is, how are we gonna benefit the audience in China, right? As I kind of mentioned in a PowerPoint, is we already have 13 ITAC theaters in 13 cities. And we also collaborated with 20 bigger theaters to program children's work for them. I think we try our best to outreach to more cities, not only in Shanghai, not only in the biggest city, first tier city, we also go to second tier city and third tier cities. And we believe the audience in all those cities need good quality works. And when we do online resources, online content, it is spread out all across China. So all the people in different cities can see that. And we also get a response from them.
We've had another question in the chat section about your videos, about how did you get enough quality video editors to switch so quickly to so much digital content?
Well, this is how quickly our team respond to this difficult time, and we all start self-learning. We self-learning how to edit videos. So it's our team. It's like technicians and producers, assistant producers, front house managers. They all do those things. They learn very quickly. And we have 60 people in our team. It's very, it's a big team. Although we're not professional like editor, but we want to make efforts to make it work. We know it's not professional, but most important message we want to deliver to our audience is we try our best to show our heart and genuine feeling, and we still want to continue and keep on doing what we believe in. Yeah. Sometimes it's not about professional outcome. We always like comfort ourselves. Don't be stressful. Just do your best. That will be okay.
Okay, and another question that's cropped up is, do you ever create live classes, or are all of your classes pre-recorded?
Live, yes, we have live classes. Like this page I'm sharing at the moment in the middle. Did you see this? They're kind of cooking teas and drinking teas, right? So this is live broadcasting of coin opera. So the person who wearing hat is a coin opera performer. He is teaching kids how to sing coin opera. And it's a very casual setting, because when you sing coin opera in ancient time, it's about drinking teas and melody. It's very, it's a lifestyle.
I have a question. Can I go ahead?
Yes.
I'm speaking from Newfoundland, Canada, and I want to thank you so much for celebrating the creations of children. I was so excited to see the Australian picture book stop motion movie with a child celebrated as the expert, and I just want to say, from a teacher, thank you for that.
Thank you very much. We're also very excited to see those videos, and we're very fortunate to have mothers who are very big supporter, and they will share those kids' creation at home with us.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we feel like they grow up in the theater. We believe they're very creative.
We've had a question again in the chat about, have you monetized the online classes?
Monetize.
You monetize them. Are they paid or are they free, or how are you dealing with that side of it?
It's totally free, because as I said, not like we're changing our business core. I think to us it's a marketing tool. So it's all free. It's just for connecting with our audience. We don't want our audience to feel like they cannot come to the theater and everything goes quiet and nothing happened. The team is dead. So we want to keep ourselves alive and vivid and creative at all times. So this is how we connect with our audience through the online approach. And we don't think we don't think that will earn money, because the quality maybe not too high. In China, we have lots of very high quality online resources.
Do you have a sense then of what might come out the other side of the content, and how that might inform the live interaction and engagement when you return? Is that worked into the content on your video, or are there opportunities that are arising from it?
I think when we share those videos, and we do receive lots of new potential partners, like new kindergartens and schools, they approached us and say, well, this is a very good resource. Can we use that for our school? And we were like, yes, it's free of charge. You can use whatever you want. But I think those connections, those networks, those new partners will be beneficial for our future theater business. So because we're running, our main core is running our theater. We want people back to our physical space, and having more partners is very important for supporting that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Did I answer your questions?
Yes, thanks.
Forrina, this is Eric. I have a question. Do you anticipate that when things come back to normal, or something like normal, you will have an ongoing virtual expression of SK? Do you think this will become a regular part even when you're back to in person?
No, I don't think so. Maybe it's because our stubbornness of believing in the life experience. And also when everything be back to normal in our theater, our whole team will switch our work direction. For example, the team who is producing those content, the editing team, the teaching artist team, they were back to their normal working model. They were working in the school, they were working in the kindergarten, they were working in the creation lab, they were working on the camps. They don't have any time for doing those, or not enough time to do this. So we have to choose which one we prefer.
If I may jump in, Forrina, I just have a further question regarding your online classes. My name's Liz. I'm speaking to you from Toronto, Canada. And I run a drama school, part of a drama school team at Young People's Theatre here. And we're just in the midst of, we're like in a holding pattern because we are considering having online drama classes. And we've had to cancel a whole bunch, as I'm sure everybody around the world has, and my heart goes out to everybody. But much like you're describing, keeping the community, outreach, just getting the hearts and spirits engaged of all the kids that we know, we're very seriously looking at summer programming. So I'd be curious to know, you mentioned that you did have online classes and you mentioned music in particular. I'm curious to know if you've been running online drama classes and if you just any discussion about ages or how it's worked or what you've done. I'd be curious to know about your experience with that.
Online classes.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the online resources, the online videos we created.
Well, I'm wondering if you mentioned that you had like a live music class?
Live broadcasting.
Okay, so it's broadcasting. Okay.
Yeah, it's not a lessons. We will call it's an experience, like a virtual experience. So they could meet our artists online and learn some of the Kun opera, and we also will visit the artist's home, like the picture in the PowerPoint. We will go to their home, and they will share with us their lifestyle, like what they do at home with their children, with instruments, with music. So it's not really like a lesson. It's like an activity, maybe.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I think this is a we have been discussing this for a while. Like if we can change our whole business and move that online, is that an option? Then we realize that our audience really expect like a live experience rather than online. And I think online is another audience from our point of view.
Okay, this will probably be the last question unless anyone else has a really quick one, because I think we need to wrap up. But we've had one on the chat that says, I loved seeing the way you opened up the array of online activities to all ages. And I see how some of your methods would work well for our creative aging population. Would you consider expanding your scope to intergenerational learning in person?
Intergenerational, you mean to adults?
It's Kristen. I mean, specifically adults, but aging adults. So that the elders are involved with the very young learners.
You mean the grandparents?
Yes.
We probably will not approach the Asian audience at the moment, because our primary audience in the theater, like our theater audience, are kids and their family, like kids and their mothers and father, mainly mothers, because mothers at home is like a very key decision maker. So we will have a workshop for mothers, but at the moment we don't have any things for Asian people. Oh, but we have a new project called cross-general dance project, and that will involve kids, mothers, and grandmothers. So they don't need to have a dance background or skills. They're ordinary people, and we just draw them together and we rehearse with them for 10 days. They will perform all together on stage. So this is a community project we are going to do in the festival time. And we will invite the Scottish dance company called Barrowland Ballet, very good at doing the community project like that. And we will invite artistic director Natasha to come to China to do that. This is the only project I can thinking of at the moment involving Asian audience.
Thank you. I have to be the boring one to step in and wrap it all up now. But thank you so much, Forrina, for taking us through all of that. I'm not sure if you've read some of the comments from the chat section, but you absolutely should, because people are saying lovely things, and I think you should see that before you sign off.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to everyone for joining. I'll do a quick reminder that this recording will go up online. And so if you have asked a question and you don't want that included, let me know and I can take things out before I post. I will also include everyone in an email chain afterwards in case you have more questions that you didn't get to ask. If you don't want included in that, let me know. And just a reminder, these happen every single month on different topics. We're all on our computers more than ever at the moment, I think. So if you have any innovative practices that you want to share, if you have any ideas or questions that you want to pose to the wider community in your own think tank, let me know, and that's something that we can set up. I'm so pleased to see so many people. I think there were 50 of us today from a wide array of countries, so thank you for joining. And with that being said, I will wrap up and move over to an email chain. So thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.